Yo, what is going on today, YouTube? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. And as much as this is for you guys, it's for me also. Looking at this upcoming patch, I want to just a refresher what's happening. I'm not watching the Titan talk. I'm just kind of running through it as quick as I can. Just kind of get an idea of what is happening with this patch, what the changes are. Just to kind of put that in my memory bank. Remember it for tomorrow or today, I guess, because I'm recording this Sunday. So yeah, let's jump right in. We get to talk about Kali. Yeah, we're going to talk about Kali first. I'm not going to go through all this. Kali now has two types of styles. She has an auto attack style. She has a intelligence style, like a poly almost one shot. Kurt has a few videos on his YouTube if you are curious of that style. The auto attack style is going to stay basically the same from SMITE 1. New skins and cosmetics. We get this new Pele skin. And this is a prism. There's 4 of them. We have Duke Dandelions, Void Worm Ymir, which is also a prism. We have Cosmic Conjurer Merlin. And we've got quips, which are like little sounds, I guess, when you're playing, which I don't care about very much, but maybe somebody does. They're I, which is the Changa voice line. There's a fart noise, a horn, quack me up, sad party, and the drama. But one of the things I'm most excited for is a god builder section. You can now save builds for your favorite gods and share them with the community. This is the first version of this feature. So yes. I'm going to try my best to get my god builder into this as much as I can. I don't know if there's going to be a way for me to do it quickly or not, but I will try my absolute best to get a god builder for all of the notable gods, whether it's in between queue, I'm just kind of adding them in or whatever. Yeah, I'm going to try my best. So that is something exciting to look forward to. There is now new skin special emotes, which is something we had in SMITE 1. All of these are getting added. Exciting. Big changes. Okay, so these are changes to the Conquest map. Fire brands are spawning where the fire giant pit is. They spawn at 3 minutes. They're 2 little monsters. If you kill them, they drop 2 rocks, fire rocks. I don't even remember what they're called. They're fire rocks? Fire giant embers. And they respawn every 2 minutes. Unfortunately, with that, they are reducing the strength and intelligence reward that the rocks are giving. It was 2. It is now 1. Tough. I get it. I get it. We want to add something to the solo side of the map. Not, I mean, like +1. I guess you kill those things. You get 6 stats. Just walking to it got you 4. Yeah. Totem of Ku is also getting a slight rework. It no longer grants a buff to the minions in each lane. Instead, it gives a +1 cooldown rate to the player who contributed the most damage to capturing the totem. 90% of the time, it's going to be a solo laner. They're just getting to like 20 cooldown rate. It was a little too much. So it's going to be about 10 if you spam get them. They are changing how jungle timers work. Now you have to have vision of the camp. Like you have to witness it. Or you have to have a ward on that camp to actually get the timer of when it will respawn. I think this is way better. I don't know why they changed this in SMITE 2. Maybe it's something that they had to do in SMITE 2, but this is a good change. They're reducing the amount of wind sprites. Minion TTK is now slower. Minion versus minion. Sorry, TTK is lower. It should be about the same for player versus minion. But yeah, the timing is going up about 50%, which is kind of insane. Brutes, which are the big frontline minions, no longer have the anti-magic shield. The Gold Fury, the leadership aura, which is I think the second one, is getting cut in half from the damage reduction. And the damage power is also getting cut just about in half. The Titan is getting more stats from tier 2 towers. Yeah, doubling from the tier 2 towers. So now you have to kill those tier 2s before... Well, you don't have to, but it'll be easier to end if you kill the tier 2 towers. I've seen this one a few times now, and I think it's fair for me to say this, where there should be comeback mechanics in the game. I think comeback mechanics should be rewarded if you are making proactive plays or if you are making plays like just on the map, whether it is trying to steal a Gold Fury or stealing an objective or splitting the map and getting a structure. That is a good comeback mechanic. Teleport to lane? The gold chalices in SMITE 1 are horrible comeback mechanics. I am a fan of this as a comeback mechanic. I'm a fan of this as a snowball mechanic. I think adding these 2 into the game are both very good. I'm going to say it every time. Just don't allow teleport back to lane until like 5 minutes. And I think instantly the game just becomes more fun. It is not fun having somebody either get killed and then TP back, or somebody backs for a spike and then instantly TP backs without missing any tempo whatsoever in the early portion of the game. It makes like wave state and like resource trading a lot less important. It's just not fun. Cupid Aspect nerf and a nerf to base Cupid. Sobek Aspect is getting a buff, but there is a nerf to his 3 and his ult. Yamoja Aspect is getting a buff. Hercules is getting a buff to tank Herc. I mean, it's also hybrid Herc too, and like squishy Herc also. Like it's just a nerf to, I mean, it's just a buff to Herc. Apparently he's just playing really badly stats wise. I think this god could actually be really good in solo. 20% of your protections. You're also getting a bunch here. And then you're also just getting a ton of protections from your passive. It is a lot of stats that you're getting. And then just more base damage on Excavate early game allows you to snowball. Honor is getting a buff. I already think this character is very good. I think he gets even better now. Yeah, I think it's crazy. Danzaburo is getting a slight buff to his early game and a slight buff to his damage threat if you use your 3 offensively, which is nice. I think they could probably do more to Danza. I also think they could buff his 2 aspect. Neith is getting a buff, which I don't think makes a ton of sense. I already think this character burst-wise is already good. And now her burst is going up, and her survivability is going up, and her aggression is going up. I just don't love it. New sick Agni skin, or sorry, Agni aspect. I'm very excited for that. Item balance. A lot of this is just going to come down to trying it and seeing how it feels. I have not played PTS, so I have no opinion on it so far. I can just give my initial stats on them and, you know, kind of talk about it later down the line of where these items have landed. My only slight worry with items like Tearfing and Signet are these could be abused by tanks. Rage getting added into the game I think is really good. I think it's nice to have an item where most of your strength can just go behind this item for crit. Like I can just build full like Xe, Kins, Tearfing, and then just have like a rage where if I get a rage crit on a backliner, or on a squishy as he's diving me as a backliner, that's good, I think. Obviously, we'll see if it changes much. It's a good price for it. It's very cheap. But I'm excited to try around with these 3 new items. I think they're exciting. Bancross is getting a buff. This item is 30 intelligence once you finish it. 30. Berserker's is losing 5% attack speed, but it's getting a much better passive if you're building tank. So on squishy characters, this item is going to be worse. Bloodbound Book is getting a lifesteal buff and also getting a shield buff, which when I originally saw this, and it's the same with the Bloodforge, I'll just kind of group them together. It just makes me a little worried that it makes it harder to dive these characters as often. They're up every 80 seconds, which means just about every time my ultimate is up, they're going to have this extra shield that I have to get through. Granted, it's the strength of the item. That's what they want. It just makes me a little nervous, but I think it's fine to at least try it and see how it feels. Book of Thoth is getting a buff. This is actually going to be a bigger buff than you'd think because it's 20 intelligence. You're also getting more mana, which you get more stats from. So instead of getting that 10 flat pen, you'll be getting about what, 20, I think it's 26 mana from this. I think this is a nice buff to Book of Thoth. This penetration is noticeable against a squishy who has no stats built, but a lot of the time you're overkilling anyway. So it's just more relevant damage against tanks, which I think is good. Bracer of Abyss is also going to be stacking a little bit higher. Xerxes just needs to become not bugged. I think this is also too low of a cooldown for an item with this much safety and utility, but we'll see. Dagger Frenzy, it's getting shifted, more passive strength, less base strength. I'm indifferent towards it, kind of. Deathbringer is getting less stat strength, more passive strength. Death Metal is getting less stat strength, more passive strength. And it's also team utility, which is interesting. Sprint to an objective and just do it with Death Metal is a possibility now. Demon Blade is also getting a buff to the passive, worse base stats. Dev's Gloves, same thing as Book of Thoth, where you're not losing the pen. You're getting 5 strength and an extra 7% lifesteal, which I think this is actually a bigger trade. I think the 7% lifesteal is pretty insane. I think that ends up being, and this could be wrong, I think it's 22% lifesteal now, because I think it's 10% base, 5% after getting every stack, and then it's 7% now also while finishing. So this is a 22% lifesteal option, which I think is crazy high for a cheap item. Arrow's Bow is getting stronger. I already thought this item was broken. I just think it's a pretty boring item. So yeah, that's my opinion. I think it's broken though. Eye of the Storm, I just don't think it's ever going to be very good. Genji's is getting a cooldown decrease. Issue is this item is statted horrendously. Helm of Radiance is getting a little buff. I'm not going to go through all these items. Kins is a notable one. Gonna have to see how that feels. Reaver's another one. Spirit Robe gets a nice little health regen over the next 6 seconds. On top of that, we're also getting a bunch more item changes. And again, a lot of this I'm going to have to just try. But yeah, a lot of item changes that I'm gonna have to go through, but I don't want to just kind of talk through all of them because it's gonna be mostly guesswork, because it's not like an item got changed and you'll still be able to test it kind of against like the other stats. Like if you just saw a buff to Pendulum, you're like, oh, Pendulum's better now. Is it viable? Maybe, maybe not. Now it's Pendulum got buffed. Oh, well, other items also got nerfed / buffed, and the items you buy against it also got nerfed and buffed. So it's really hard to just kind of take a shot in the dark with how good items would be, but I think it's best to kind of try it all out, see how stuff feels. The build guide is going to be off for a little bit. Hopefully not too long. A lot of stuff to be trying over the next few days. The patch drops today at 7 a.m. I'm hoping to drop this video a little bit after the patch goes live, so you have a little bit of reference to what is happening. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys have voted today. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Peace.